and I've decided I'm just going to use book pages. So this is the little pocket we made in the last video, which I'll try and remember to link below. If I don't link it, it's literally the video before this one. So there's a pocket in the top and there's a slot in the front to put something in. This is literally just a piece of doubled over book page. It's got ink on it because that's the backing page that I used when I was inking this. So it's just the messy bit. We'll fix that one up in a minute. This is one I made before with a pocket in the back and the slot in the front here. And I've sewn along the bottom, stuck on that's a piece out of scrapbook paper. This is a piece of paper out of a dog book with lots of sayings in it. So just thinking happiness is something we're not taught at home or school, and as such many of us fail to find lasting happiness and fulfillment. Now, I don't really. It's a place to call home. It's a walk in the park, the sun on your shoulders. Now that's only part of a saying. That's fine. I don't mind that. I'm happy with that. This piece is quite long, so I'm just going to trim it down. I'm going to trim it down to the end of the text. Now I'm like my little tabs in these pockets to stick out a little bit, just to make them that little bit easier to grab. So when I put that in there, it sticks out a little bit, and I like it that way. I'm totally fine with that. Again, this is a piece of book page like this book page here, literally just folded over and glued together. It's the scraps from when I inked this piece. So I'm just going to ink it up more. Got my green here. Just going to use our green. Now this is an older book page. Well, older than the other shiny one I had. So it's ink sits different on it. So I'm just coming in from the edge, starting on the outside, going in small circles, coming in from the edge to ink that up a little bit. We'll do both sides. I don't want it perfect. I don't need it perfect. It's just a background. You won't even see most of the middle because we're going to stick that saying on there. This is the messier side, so we might stick the saying on this side. So this side's a bit, just grab another dauber with a bit of brown and just bring the brown in. Just going quite lightly here to sort of try and blend it a little bit in with the green. And see, this is my messy piece of paper. So when I'm finished with that, I'll just fold that over and then decorate that a bit more and use that in for my next one. Got a little bit of, what's on there, doesn't really matter. Like I said, these are scrapbook journals. They don't have to be perfect. I'm going to use the PVA glue on this. This is a really glossy page, so I'm not sure how well that's going to go. If it peels up, we might have to use a clear glue. I find some glossy papers take the PVA glue fine and some don't like it as much. So I'll just put the text up the correct way. It's going to, oops, we're a bit long. That was clever of me, wasn't it? I'm just going to drop a little bit off the end here. Put that straight in the bin so it doesn't get glue everywhere. Put this one on here. There we go. And when I glue things on, I tend to turn my page over and rub it from the back. That way I'm not getting the glue all over myself. And I feel like it is easier to rub all the sides down. You can get your bone folder as well. And that has stuck really well, so I'm pretty happy with that. That's really good. So I'm just going to round the corners on the end of this. This is a corner rounder I got off Amazon, I think it was. Pull that out of the way. Now we have a nice little tag to put in here. If you want to, you could decorate the back side of it as well. So you can put a piece of paper on here. Actually, I might do that. Let's put a piece of paper on there. So I've got a more book page here. There's 2 pages here. This one's blank down the bottom, so we can use this to put a piece on there for journaling. I'm not much of a measurer, so I'm just going to put a couple of pencil marks on here where I think the size should be. Then I'll just trim it down, line my mark up on one of my lines. My knife. I do have a trimmer, but I don't always use it, and because not everyone has trimmers, I figure I'll do things with scissors, rulers and knives and things, because they're easy to get. Pretty much everyone's got a ruler. You do want a metal ruler to do this. You don't want a wooden one. And you can get wooden ones that have a metal, like a little blade through the middle. So this can go on here. What I will do is, I won't round the corners because this is a very thin piece of paper. I'm just going to ink the edges because this is a thin piece of paper because it's just an old book page. Just going to ink the edges a bit to help it blend into its background. But you can still see that you've got a journal piece. See, it's very thin. You have to be very careful. I'll just rub straight along the edge there. And while I'm doing all these bits of inking here, I'm making my next piece underneath. So we have our saying on that way, so that's up. Well, it doesn't matter which way I put it up, does it? Then we'll just glue that on there, because I'm just going to use a glue stick. This is a Vanishing Purple Scholar glue stick. I've been buying a few different glue sticks that I can easily get locally to try them out to see which one I like, and surprisingly I'm pretty sure this one's from Officeworks. It actually works pretty well. The only thing I don't like about it is the lid is really hard to get off. I don't know how kids do it, although mind you, kids are probably better at it than adults. I often have to use my teeth to get it off. It sticks on really well, which I guess means that it would keep really well. So let's stick this one on here. There we go. And you have a little journaling spot. Again, just use my bone folder to stick it down nice and hard. There we go. This one goes in here. You can put a little tab on the end if you want to. Now I need a piece to go in the back. This book page is too wide, but I'm just going to fold it in half first. And do a rough measurement. So if we trim it at the edge of the text. Now I'm doing all this very quickly so we can get it on video and you get an idea of what you can and can't do. Well, not what you can't do. You can do whatever you want, really. You can do all sorts of things. I'm just doing this really quickly so show you what I'm doing. How you can use up those old book pages. Yeah, there's tossed aside books nobody wants anymore. There we go. I know some people don't like people using old books, but I figure better to put them a bit of a use than throw them away, and I only get my books at second-hand stores. So by folding that in half and gluing it down, you're making it more solid. So A, it's going to last more, and B, it's a bit stronger for people. There you go, stick another book page in behind here. Just going to do the edges in the brown very quickly. See, I'm being quite rough with this. I feel my voice is going. There we go. Now you can do the same. I'm going to use, I don't have any more blank. Oh, here we go. I have these pages here that I've made from literally just sat at the lounge with a couple of bits of paint and painted over old book pages. This book page is really brittle, so I'm just tearing it to size so I can glue it on here. Just adds a bit more interest. Another layer, and then you could put whatever pictures, whatever decorations you want on here. Now I do the glue stick around the middle to stick the middle on, because I don't totally trust glue sticks. I use my PVA glue to go around the edge, so then I know it's going to stick down. And it doesn't really matter if the glue stick doesn't stick every little section, but having the glue stick there gives you a nice, better hold on the page. So I'll put a bit more on the back here. So I'm leaving the inking standing out. And put that up here. And you could put a blank piece of paper on the back so you can use it as a journal card. With decoration on one side, you could use blank paper on both sides so you can journal on both sides. It's really up to you what you want to do. Just giving you a couple of ideas. Put that one on there. There. You could even journal on that with a white pen if you wanted to. The only thing with putting decorations on things you're putting into pockets, usually it's better not to have stuff with lots of edges, because unless it's sticking out of the pocket, otherwise it's going to be hard to put it in the pocket because it all sticks to the edge, if you know what I mean. So I'm just going to grab, where do my little puppy cutouts go? Here we go. So I'm just going to use one of these, put him on here. If I glue him all the way around, he should be fine. So just using my PVA glue. There we go. Again, turn him over, squish him down. Yep. Have a piece of plain book page of this one. So I put a little bit of plain book page on this one, so you can journal on the back here. We might put that up this way so I got the straight edges together and the ripped edges together. Again, I'll do that bit of glue stick in the middle. And if you're doing it on an older book page, you want to put plenty on because it soaks it in. PVA glue around the edge. Make sure we stick nice and well. In the slightly cooler weather, I can leave it a little bit longer between putting my lids on my glue, which is really nice. And it won't dry up so fast. There we go. Bone folder. So you've got a journaling spot on that side. You've got a cute little puppy on this side, but he needs a word or something at the top here. And what do I have? That's a good question. I'm gonna have a look in my, this is my pet box. So my pet box has all sorts of pet related bits and pieces that I can stick onto things. Oh, that one goes that way. Let's see. Need something fairly flat. Look in here. These are out of scrapbooking paper. I want a cat one, want a dog one. Oh, this might be all cats. Proud parents. Proud parents? That'll do. Doesn't really matter. So having all those lots of little bits and pieces ready to go, so they've come out of scrapbook papers. and I've just sat, when I've been in the TV in the evening, sat there and cut them all out, so they're ready to rock and roll to put on your decoration. There we go. So this one sits in the back here, and you could easily make more things. I quite like this. This is a Bob, pages out of a Bob Geldof book. So is that it? I kind of like that. That's one of the chapters. So I'm going to leave that there. Other thing I do is have a quick scan of any words which you might not want to be on there. So I might not. The Bob Geldof book has lots of words that you don't want to really see in a pet book. So I always have a bit of a scan, and I'll often stick my stickers over the bits that I don't want to see. So there we go. We have a tag in here. We have a journaling spot in here, and you could add a lot more into that pocket. And then you've got that ready to go. You just stick it into your journal page, or you can put it in a pocket in a journal, under a belly band, all sorts of options, and quick and easy to make. And then you can just decorate them as you go. So hope you had a wonderful day. We'll leave it at that today, and we'll catch you next time. Bye.